Hey guys, welcome to LG Overdrive. This is episode 7. I am the host, Da Young Buck. With us today, we have Bristol Lionin.
What's up, everybody?
Also with us, we have Notorious Fat.
Hey everybody, how you doing tonight?
And joining us from an outside broadcast, which we're going to be adding to our show afterwards, we have Dudley Do Right. He's not here at the moment. He did a pre-recording for us. We'll insert it into the actual show
Dudley would say,
when it's all edited.
hello everybody, hello.
Hello. And hopefully we will be joined briefly by Fourth Line Worthy. So hopefully he can make it. If not a big deal. So we're going into week 9, boys. I know my team has 10 games this week. What's your guys' schedules looking like?
We've got 10 as well.
I think we got 9.
Yeah, you guys, Bristol, you've already played your 10-game week, correct?
Yeah, I think we played it pretty early, too.
Okay. Yeah, no, we got 10. Do you think Tucson has 10, you said?
Yep, we got 10 this week as well.
So there's a few teams that got 10 this week, and we're both teams that have it. I'm hoping my team doesn't go 0-10 since we just went 0-9 last week. I want to end on a 19-game losing streak.
Lots of teams are seeing an opportunity here to gain some points on some weaker teams that have 10 games. Let me just tell you, everybody in AHL, bring your game because you're not getting points in Tucson.
So I'm actually just quickly looking at the standings. The entire Western Conference has 10-game weeks, and Laval. So Laval and then the entire Western Conference have 10 games this week. All right. We're going to kick it off. We're going to send it over to Notorious. He has his Week 8 Life in the Cage segment.
Yes, Life in the Cage, Week 8, as Buck had said. We'll start off with our stud of the week. Really unexpected. A guy I didn't even notice at all this week. From San Antonio, Avalanche fan 133. I didn't even know this guy was in the league, honestly. I didn't notice him at all this week. He never really jumped out at me for good or bad reasons. So I guess that's kind of a good thing. But this week he went 5-1-0, had a 1.83 goals against average and an 87.6 save percent. In there as well, he had one shutout, which came against Bridgeport. That's a pretty good week for a team that's mostly underachieved on the year. They've been sort of a middling group. So, they got wins over Bridgeport, like I said. Springfield, a nice 17 save performance against Wilkes-Barre Scranton. Had a win against Charlotte. Everybody beats Charlotte except Tucson. 18 saves.
And Bakersfield.
Okay, so 18 saves against the Grand Rapids Griffins. And then his only loss came to Hartford. Good week for them. So, like I said, they're quietly putting together a pretty good season, or he's putting together a pretty good season over there. He's currently 26-11-2. Again, I didn't even notice him. Like, I don't know what I missed or if anybody else missed it out there, but I definitely didn't see him. So he's one of the few bright spots on the San Antonio roster this year. So congratulations to you. That was a really good week for you, Avalanche fan 133. You're the stud this week.
Nice.
Moving on to our paper bag princess, also known as the stud. This week is our very own the young Buck. Give yourself a round of applause, Buck. Buck plays for the Bakersfield Condors. He went 0-6-0 this week. Not a good week in Bakersfield. Like he said, they went 0-9. So Buck ate up most of that 9-loss performance on the week. Thank you, Buck. I'm sure your other goalie there really appreciates it. 4.28 goals against average, 64.9 save percent. There's some losses in there to Springfield.
Charlotte.
Let in 8 goals to Wilkes-Barre Scranton. Charlotte, as Buck said. Providence got a win. Hartford put 7 in on them. And then a big, huge 3-save performance against Lehigh Valley. So good job there, Buck. Your name will be proudly inscribed on the paper bag of shame and forever for future generations to enjoy. I will be passing it around, like I said, to all the players. Again, nobody submitted their address to me yet, so I haven't been able to get it out to anybody. So if you've already won it, again, just PM me all your address. I'll get it out to you right away, priority mail.
Oh, within next week if you send it to me.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody will get to hold it for a week, so good luck on that. And then finally, everybody's favorite, or a lot of people's favorite, is the old cockhammer. This week in the cockhammer, we have a man who went 0-4-0 with a 6.76 goals against average and a 60.
Whoa, but what? Repeat that number?
6.76 goals against average and a 67.9 save percent. And that was Jay Fluken from Belleville. Not a stellar week for him. Took losses to Cleveland, giving up 7 goals, Grand Rapids 7 goals, and Manitoba 9 goals, and Rockford. I'm noticing also from what I'm doing here, everybody seems to be giving up a lot of goals to Grand Rapids this week. So looks like Grand Rapids had a pretty good week. I'm starting to think that it's no Fluken that since the trade deadline when he moved over from San Jose to Belleville, his season has kind of flip-flopped. When he was in San Jose, he was 19-10-3, pretty good record on a pretty decent team. And then you get moved over to a team that is maybe not as good in Belleville, and has since gone 2-4-1. So I'm thinking it's, like I said, no Fluken, that if you have a pretty good team in front of you, you're probably going to have pretty good stats. So I think that's a real indicator right there. But, yeah, your cock is smashed this week, Fluken. Enjoy your patty-like penis. What can I say?
Your pancake penis?
Your pancake penis, yes.
There we go.
And that's it for this week.
So moving in, we are in week 8, done week 8, going into week 9, like we obviously previously announced. I want to just talk about the teams that are already locked in and already eliminated. So in the Eastern Conference, we have one team that is currently locked in for a playoff spot. And that team is also the only Eastern Conference team that has 100 points or more. And I'm talking about Wilkes-Barre Scranton, who are 46-19-8 for exactly 100 points. First in the Atlantic Division, run by Hilly and Gabella. Are you guys surprised to see that team up at the top of that division?
No.
With the way that division is.
No.
I'm not surprised to see them near the top. That's for sure. The good management group there, right? Hilly and Gabella, they're proven, and the good players. So I wouldn't say I'm surprised to see them at the top, or near the top.
Yeah.
It's a strong division though.
Yes.
I think that the real question is, will they choke in the playoffs like Gabella did with Hershey and the boys?
Ooh,
Even though that wasn't, they did end up forfeiting, I believe, 2 games that series at least.
Yes, they did. They did forfeit 2.
So you never know if it might come back around.
That was last season, wasn't it, though, Risto?
2.
Was it 2 seasons ago?
26.
I seem to remember there was a lot of big talk coming out of Hershey that year too. There was a lot of big boisterous attitudes and egos.
That was Team Beta Dreams.
That's right. So yes, they don't have that problem, I don't think, right now. I don't think there's any real troublemakers over there. So hopefully they can keep it together. That's the key to playoffs. At least that's what I hear. I don't know, but
yeah. So moving on to our other 2 teams that are LG sanctioned into the playoffs, we're going to head over to our division there, Notorious. We're going to talk about the Stockton Heat, who are currently at 108 points, and they are 52-16-4. Oh, hello, Mr. Evan.
Yeah, my bad. And by the way, sorry to interrupt. All this it's a little messy. My bad.
No worries, buddy. So we were just actually talking about teams that are actually LG sanctioned in the playoffs, and I was just bringing up Stockton, who are first in the division with 108 points. Team made by Axie 19. Some of the guys I played with last season, like Bell, Antonucci, Luke. Notorious actually played on the team as well. Are you guys surprised to see that team still in first, considering that division is so strong?
Are you asking me or as a whole?
I'm asking just in general, yeah.
Okay, well, yes and no. At the beginning of the season, if someone were to tell you that Stockton's going to be first place, they would say no because you look at it and it's a whole bunch of people who are in the CHL. But at the same time, it's a whole bunch of people that were in the CHL and should not have been in there in the first place. But that division is strong. Surprised Ontario is not like closer than what they are because like when you look at rosters, but at the end, this game's all about chemistry, right? And they all play together. So,
yeah.
And just to touch on that as well, Evan, you're talking about Ontario, and you're surprised that they're not there as well. They had a hot week. So they're coming on strong, maybe at the right time. This is a good time to be peaking as they're coming into the playoffs. So that may be a good thing too.
Like, I was mentioning this before the show started. Outside of the Pacific Division, there are 2 teams in the AHL that have 100 points or more. That's Manitoba and Wilkes-Barre Scranton. In the Pacific alone, there's already 3 teams at 100 or more and 1 at 93. So
Dude,
it just goes to show how
that was Central, like 2 seasons, 3 seasons in a row, because when Manitoba was there with Puck too, right? And they had Dan Hutton's team was there too, and Wags.
Macros's team was up there.
Macro, and that's what I'm telling you. And when Lindgros and Stoner and Landeskog were in Chicago, like that season 25, that was a dump stack division. And it comes down to round 2 is going to be such bullshit because it's going to be 2 teams that should be meeting farther on in the playoffs, and now they're playing in round 2. So it's going to be fun for ones finally to be able to watch another division that's going to go head to head. And that round 1, like seed 1 and 4, dude. That's an insane matchup right off the start. Like there's no easy.
San Jose, Stockton, yeah.
Yeah, like there's gonna be someone out of that team that's gonna be knocked out, and they should still be in playoffs, but because they have to play.
Okay, speaking of the Central Division in that season, okay, just to put in just perspective here, season 25, I have the standings pulled up right now. In 8th place, we had Iowa at 36 points. 7th, Grand Rapids at 77. 6th, Rockford at 97.
That was us.
5th, Charlotte at 102. 4th was Chicago at 111.
Yeah.
3rd was Milwaukee at 113. 2nd was Manitoba at 117, and Cleveland won the division at 117.
That's what I mean, and like that's a possible situation where they're gonna end with the 4th place team might end like in that same situation. And that's going to be like when you go to overall standings and see like 1 to 30, most of those teams will be in the top 10. Actually, they all will be in the top 10, and they're all in the same division.
If you want to win a championship, though, you're going to have to win 16 games regardless who you're doing it against.
Oh, 100%.
So, whether you're getting that tough matchup round 1 or you're getting that tough matchup in round 4, it really doesn't matter. 16 wins is 16 wins, right?
Well, that's the thing, right? No matter what, you're going to have to play the best to get there.
Evan, I think you made a mistake on your pad back there. It's looking a little wet.
Oh yeah.
So we're actually going to move on to our 3rd and final team that was actually like sanctioned into the playoffs, and they also sanctioned President's Trophy winners. 4th line's Manitoba Moose. For the 3rd straight season, 4th line seems to think that the trophy is cursed, but I'm also going to bring up that the President's Trophy winner of season 25, Stockton, also won the Calder. So I think it's a cursed
I did everybody a favor locking that down because I don't think I can handle Stockton having that. I can't. They're already rowdy because they're in 2nd place in the whole league. But I mean, I don't think it's a curse. I mean, maybe in real life people think it's a curse because like it's actual like get in your head, but it's a video game, right? At the end of the day. It's literally you come on there and it's playoffs, but the game will not register as it being a high intense. Your guy's still going to skate the exact same. The game speed's going to be the exact same.
Well, let's just thank you right now for jumping on that grenade, Evan. You're a real man. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Now the real question is: are you going to make it past the conference finals?
That's the other thing that bothers me. Everyone says that we choke in 2nd round, 1st round. Like we've only done it 2 seasons in the 2nd round, and I guess you can say Tucson was a choke, but like I think Tucson was still like they were still good. I mean, Breezy and Lorenzo are good, man, and Stasny is a line, so I wouldn't really say it was anything of a choke. I mean, I didn't choke. I went 4-1, dude. I did my share.
All right.
Yeah, I never said it was a choke. It was a good series, regardless. But
it was.
In general.
I mean, yeah.
All right. So moving on to the teams I want to congratulate for being eliminated officially from the playoffs. I want to congratulate the Hartford Wolfpack for officially being eliminated. I would like to also congratulate the shitty Charlotte Checkers for being the worst team in the entire AHL and being eliminated.
We got 1 week left. They could catch us.
We have congratulations for the Belleville Senators, who are also eliminated. R.I.P. Nabby and the Ottawa Senators. Also like to congratulate the Toronto Marlies for being eliminated, the Milwaukee Admirals for being eliminated, and last but not least, the Tucson Roadrunners for being eliminated. I'd also like to point out that there are several teams that are also eliminated, but mathematically that LG hasn't sanctioned, including my own Bakersfield Condors. Also, the Springfield Falcons are also eliminated. So just want to put that out there.
No, the thing is, though, is like a team like Charlotte Checkers, man, it's crazy. They have not forfeited yet this season, and I think Notorious, you said Tucson hasn't either. Not really sure on Hartford, but that's the stuff, man. And I know Belleville has been pretty good for it too, and those are the people that are truly grinding it out for this year, and those people are the ones that I respect as management, because the fact that you can still gather teams and get people to play, that's really hard to do when you're a bottom team like that.
Charlotte beat us last week. We gave them their 10th win of the season.
Attaboy, Buck. Another guy jumping on a grenade. Hey?
I just wanted to make sure that they got more wins than Lang.
Ah, yes.
All right, we're gonna move on to the AIDS with Risto segment of the day.
All right, here we go. The second time I get to talk the entire show. We got fourth line here to cover on my time now. So I'm gonna keep this nice, short and sweet. And actually,
this is what happens when I'm on this show.
We're gonna keep it with the CHLR this time. Actually, our boy, I am Sean Avery.
Oh boy.
20 minutes for him here. Basically starts it off here saying or showing the history of the most penalty minutes by players and how he's broken the record of 142 penalty minutes. And this guy week 1 how much in games.
I'd also like to point out that he put up 26 penalty minutes in his last game of last season.
Sorry, is this my internet or is Risto really lagging?
He's really laggy.
Voice is fine. Image is not.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Avery had 26 penalty minutes in his last game of the season. Like, it's brutal.
So, Risto, what is your major problem with him? Like you said, you trade him. Why do you dislike that? My understanding is he's doing it at the end of the game when it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, it's not too fun.
He's taking everything off the ice.
26 PIMs, you're not, though. That's at least at the end of every period or at some point.
Well, he probably had a little bit of extracurricular activity in that game, but from what I understand, he's fighting at the end of the games. He's challenging guys and getting fights. So, what would you, like you said you would trade him, Risto? Why would you? He's taking it
at the end. I wouldn't care as much.
Because I think the big thing is
I didn't know that he did it at the end of the game.
Yeah, but see, I don't understand the point of it, man. Like, and that's another thing. Like, you're breaking the record, but you're truly not breaking the record if all you're doing is at the end of the game is just accumulating 5 minutes just to have a pointless fight.
What team is he on?
Shawinigan.
But he's not. But the thing is like he's actually. Someone pointed out in that thing, he's actually not costing them anything. Like, he's got a good record.
He's 14-6-2 with 46 points, and he's a plus 21.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, it's like it's not really that good, I guess. He seems like a troll. Like, I get Risto what he means that you wouldn't have him on his team. I wouldn't really want that just because like it's kind of annoying. And then like, is he that type of person when you're down by 3 or 4 and he just starts trying to fight and shit? I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
He was interesting though. He's a character.
Like in the last 3 weeks of the season, I just pulled it up.
Yeah.
In week 6, he had 34 penalty minutes. In week 7, he had 31. And the last week of the CHL, so week 8, he had 28. Like, that's an insane amount of penalties. That's like 93 penalty minutes in 9 games. Oh, we just lost Risto. But yeah, like, the worst part about that too is he still managed to pull up like a good amount of points in those games. Like, he still finished with 14 points in those 9 games where he had 95 penalty minutes.
He may want to focus a little more on his actual game than the fighting game. He may actually improve a little bit more so he could, maybe be a little more valuable to his team. That might be a thought.
Yeah. Risto would also like me to add this at the moment. A second AIDS with Risto would be his current internet connection.
Oh, did he lag out?
Yeah.
Yes, he lagged out. He says, and I quote, add my internet lagging out onto the list of AIDS with Risto.
Poor Risto.
Oh, that's what happens when you're a minor, I guess. You have a minor technical
See, I feel
difficulties.
bad because I feel like when that's why I was asking if he was lagging because I'd be talking, but then I hear him trying to talk, and it's maybe he was trying to talk first, but it was a heavy.
Heavy offset timing.
Yeah, it was just. I was like, whoops. I didn't mean to come in here and barge in.
So I'm actually gonna do a special thing now. I'm gonna send it over to Dudley for his top 10, but it's currently not on the show. It's pre-recorded, so Dudley will be doing his top 10 at this point. I think just for the fact that he's not here, and Notorious and I have listened to a couple of them, they were kind of funny. We'll give him a little bit of a little chuckle for that because he doesn't seem to ever get anything when it comes to lap stitch jokes. So good out to you, Dudley, for at least providing some content while you're not here. Really appreciate you, bud.
Thanks, Dudley.
And fourth line, it's nice to see you back on the show. You've had a couple week hiatus.
Oh man, yeah.
I've understanding that you've been very busy recently.
Yeah, very busy, but
I see that you have a little bit of a interior decorator in your house. Did Risto visit, or did you lose the fish tank, or what's up?
So my fish tank's actually still at my house, and this is my apartment. But yeah, that flower wall is a sticker, and it was not me who put that there.
It's beautiful, though.
It's there so when my dog shits on the pee pad, it doesn't stink up the place.
Yeah. It's a counterbalance thing, right? The symbiotic relationship. The sweetness of the flowers and the agony of the shit. I get it.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Oh my. Okay. Wow. Just quick check to the chat box. Automatic post by Swiss97. Pivot Givener has been muted by Swiss97 for 10 minutes. Reason, last act as Bog. And then immediately afterwards, Titus. Automatic post. Swiss97 has been muted by Titus for 6 months. Reason, don't act like a child.
Wow.
Holy shit. That blew up very quickly in the chat box. Big explosion there. Thanks for the sound effects and the.
You're welcome. I gotta contribute.
But without further ado, that is all for this week's episode of LG Overdrive. We're gonna have another episode next week. I believe it's actually Notorious's final Life in the Cage next week.
Yeah, it will be. There may be a written Life in the Cage that week as well. The year-end Fatty Awards. People really seemed to like them last year, so I figure if I talk about it here, it kind of forces me to do it. So I've been really lazy with the writing this year, so I'll do the awards. We'll have another awards, the second annual Fatties. So look for that next Friday or Saturday.
So we'll have the Fatties and Life in the Cage to end the season, and then he's probably going to start something off for playoffs, just like I have something planned for playoffs. I'm sure fourth line, if he can make it, he'll be around. He's a good boy.
I just interrupt everybody and just take over everyone's segment, I guess.
Someone's got to.
Everybody. Someone's got to do it, right?
It's a filthy job.
All right. So yeah, we'll catch you guys next week. Peace out.